Hey guys, welcome back to ADSR Massive Tutorials. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel already, get yourself subscribed, youtube.com/ADSR Tuts. Today we're going to be remaking or making a kind of EDM electro bass sound. A very simple sound to make, but if you want to download the patch directly from the massivesynth.com website, you can do that. There's a link appearing on the screen right now. You can go ahead and download that patch directly. So, also done a little bit of processing here. We'll come to that later. Let's just load up this. We'll turn off this processing and the bus reverb, load up this instance of Massive, create a new sound in here. So, very simple sound to make. Just going to use one oscillator for this sound, scrapyard. But pull the wavetable position to around about a quarter of the way up, and then take the pitch of this oscillator down by 1 octave. And you've got that quite nice sort of scrapyardy kind of tone, quite a popular wavetable with Massive. We're going to use just one filter for this sound, so root oscillator 1 into filter 1. You use a low pass filter. And to create that sort of stabby vibe, I'm going to use an envelope to modulate the cutoff frequency of this filter. So over down here, this first modulation envelope, click and drag the crosshair to the first modulation box on the cutoff frequency of filter 1, then click and drag up. So we've got this envelope controlling this cutoff frequency now. Let's set up this envelope to a sharp attack. Keep that attack level at full, a decay around halfway still, pull the sustain right down. And then we've got that shape that we're after, that kind of stabby sort of tone. And now we can go ahead, go to this oscillator section, take the glide off, and then go into this voicing section and just set the sound to monophonic. So and now we can just go beef the sound up a little bit. So I'm going to use some classic tube to just kind of drive the sound. Has quite a nice effect. And I'm also going to use a dimension expander to just give it a little bit of depth. So I'm going to take this size right down, and it adds a subtle amount of kind of width and just sort of depth to the sound really. Turn on this EQ as well, and let's just boost a bit of top frequency, high frequency in the sound. So that's our general sound put together there. Very quick, very simple sound to make, but can be very effective used in the kind of right way. So I've also got an EQ on here because this loop I've got playing, the kick's got a lot of low end. So take some of that low end off using this channel EQ and just boost some high mids as well. And also got some quite heavy sidechain compression. I've used the FabFilter Pro C. I just find it much more musical than the Logic compressor for sidechaining and stuff. It sounds so much tighter, so to me anyway. So I've used the FabFilter Pro C, and I've got this sidechain trigger here. So listen to this bass sound without the kick drum. You can hear that sidechain there. But what I've done is I've used this kick drum. I've duplicated it onto this channel below. If I just zoom in on one of these hits, and what I've done is I've shortened that hit. So I've really kind of like shortened the length. So the sidechain trigger, it's only going to duck the bass out for kind of split second really. So you get that nice kind of sidechain effect. Turn it off. Turn it back on. And what I've also got on here is some bus reverb. So set up a bus channel and I've used some Valhalla Vintage Verb, just a very big effecty sounding reverb. So we've got this on here. But another thing what I've done is to not overly flood that mix. I've used the same sidechain compression that I had on the bass sound. I've duplicated it over to this reverb because the reverb's got quite a long tail on it. So what is going to happen now is if we solo the sidechain trigger and the bass sound, we've got the sidechain happening on the bass, but we've also got the sidechain happening on this reverb tail. So that's ducking out of the kick drum as well. So it's going to make the mix less muddy, but it's also going to increase that kind of pumping effect on the bass sound. You can hear that reverb pumping there. So have another spin. So a couple of things you could play around with, you know, you could take the sound down by 1 octave and just get that more bassy kind of tone, or play around with the sustain and just, you know, have more sustain on there. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, please get in touch. And if you wanted to download the patch directly from the massivesynth.com website, there was a link at the start of the tutorial. Whilst you're there, just check everything else out. So many more tutorials featuring Native Instruments Massive on our website. So check some of those out. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right, cheers. Bye.